Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome back here to the launch pad. You're joining us for our live launch coverage of Starlink Group 3-4 launching from Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. We are coming to you live from southern? No, we're coming to you live from Florida, eastern Florida, where we are all on site for the launch of SLS. Hopefully, they're targeting another launch attempt on Saturday, and we're looking forward to bringing you full coverage of that. Of course, our 24/7 feed is up and running as we continue to count down 84 hours, 45 minutes, 20 seconds and counting until that next launch window opens for Artemis 1, humanity's return back to the moon. We hope you'll join us for that. If it's your first time here, welcome. My name's Zach. I'm the founder and host here at the Launchpad. Here at TLP, it's our mission to inform and inspire the explorers of tomorrow because we believe that space is better together, and I'm not alone tonight. I'm joined by the one and the only Kieran from the UK, who's here in Florida. Kieran, how's it going?
It's going great, thank you very much. It's good to be here, to be fair. I'm loving every minute of it. Hopefully SLS launches on Saturday. It'll be great. I honestly can't put into words how excited I am, but...
So we're watching another Starlink tonight, but you saw your first Falcon 9 launch a couple nights ago. You didn't have you had a lot of emotions, not a lot of words right after. We got a couple minutes. What were your thoughts?
Even now, like, putting it into words is really difficult, but like, for those of you out there who haven't experienced a launch firsthand, it is honestly like mind-blowing. Like, all I could do watching it was, I had tunnel vision. Like, everything around the rocket was there was just nothing. People walking around didn't even notice. It was just, I was focused on the rocket, and I was just in complete awe. Like, Falcon 9 is by far my favorite in-service rocket. It is amazing. And as soon as I saw it, it was like, wow, I'm really here. And it's like, I'm here with everyone they're all amazing. It's like, oh my God. It's like, yeah. So, honestly, if you haven't done it already, I highly recommend doing it. Like, that's the best way I can put it into words, because even now I'm still lost for words, and I don't even know how I'm going to react to seeing SLS launch, touch wood, on Saturday.
That's what we're hoping for. But if you're just joining us, welcome here to the launch pad. You're used to hearing my voice. I'm excited that Kieran's hopefully going to be joining me more and more on these launches as we continue to just expand TLP to bring you guys the best possible coverage of everything space. You can see there right on your screen that SpaceX logo is spinning, which means they're getting underway for today's flight. This is going to be the fourth launch into the fourth shell of the Starlink constellation. Tonight's Falcon 9 Block 5 booster is booster 1063-7 on a 51-day turnaround, launching from Slick 4E at Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. It's got 46 more Starlink satellites heading up into low Earth orbit here tonight. Of course, the drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You, is 640 kilometers downrange, ready to recover tonight's booster, as well as the fairings going in on NRC Quest, also about 640 kilometers downrange. Couple stats for you tonight. Tonight's the 172nd Falcon 9 launch in their history, the 110th Falcon 9 flight with a flight-proven booster, and I think that number is actually a little bit higher. SpaceX is going for their 64th consecutive landing, their 38th launch of 2022, and their 95th launch from SpaceX at Slick 40, and we are already now well into above 108 orbital launches of 2022, and that number is going to be picking up here very quickly as we go into now this kind of last third of the year. As SpaceX is ready, as always, if you haven't, take a moment, engage that like button, and subscribe so you never miss our live launch coverage, space briefings, space news updates, or exclusive one-on-one interviews. We're going to listen into SpaceX Mission Control throughout today's stream, but if you have questions, you can send those in the chat by tagging us at the Launchpad, and we will be answering those live throughout this evening. Take a moment, share out the stream as well as we count down just a few more minutes until launch of Starlink 4-3 from Vandenberg Space Force Base. Let's listen in to SpaceX Mission Control for the final countdown.
Good evening. I'm Kate Tice, and I'm the Quality Systems Engineering Manager here at SpaceX. I'll be your host for our 59th Starlink mission and SpaceX's 39th launch of 2022. Tonight, our Starlink satellites are lifting...
Falcon tanks are pressing for strong back retract.
Our Starlink satellites are lifting off from Pad 4E in Vandenberg Space Force Base, California. Teams are currently tracking no issues and weather conditions are looking good. The range is also green and ready to support liftoff in just about 4.5 minutes from now. And in preparation for liftoff, as you just heard moments ago, we are preparing for TE retraction. You can see that the clamp arms are now opening there just under the fairings. We began loading propellants about 30 minutes ago. Right now, Falcon 9's first stage and second stage are still loading their liquid oxygen, or LOX. The vehicle is fully loaded with all of its RP1, or liquid kerosene, and as you can see there, that strongback is retracting. We're expecting the first stage to wrap up its LOX load at T-minus 3 minutes, so just under 30 seconds.
Stage 1, LOX load is complete.
As you just heard, the first stage has wrapped up loading of the liquid oxygen. Second stage will finish its LOX load in under a minute from now. As I mentioned, the vehicle is already fully loaded with its rocket-grade kerosene, or RP1. About 30 seconds until second stage LOX load is complete.
Stage 2, LOX load.
And with that, Falcon 9 is now fully loaded with 1 million pounds of fuel and liquid oxygen. This mission marks the 7th flight for the booster that you see on screen, previously having supported Sentinel Michael Froelich, DART, and 4 Starlink missions. As a reminder, today's mission is for Starlink, and we will be sending
Falcon 9 is in startup.
We'll be sending another 46 satellites into low Earth orbit.
LD is go to launch. T-minus 30 seconds. Fifteen seconds. Minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff of Starlink 3-4. Go Falcon 9. Falcon is mission downrange. Stage 1 propulsion is nominal. Falcon is now supersonic.
As you just heard, Falcon 9 is traveling faster than the speed of sound.
Max Q.
And there's the call out that Falcon 9 has reached max Q, the maximum dynamic pressure that the vehicle will feel during flight.
MVAC engine chill has started.
We're under a minute until main engine cutoff, stage separation, and second engine start. We just heard the call out that MVAC chill has begun. The vehicle is flowing a little bit of that super chilled liquid oxygen into the turbopumps on the second stage engine in preparation for its ignition.
Main engine cutoff. Stage separation confirmed. MVAC ignition. Bearing separation confirmed.
And there you can see that those fairings have deployed, and the grid fins have also just deployed there on the first stage on the left-hand side of your screen. Today marks the third flight for both of those fairing halves, and we will be attempting to recover them once they fall back to Earth with the help of our recovery vessel, NRC Quest. The western coast of California just coming out of view on the left-hand side of your screen with those city lights in the background. As you can see by the telemetry at the bottom of your screen, the first stage is still
Stage 2 is on a nominal trajectory.
The first stage is still increasing in altitude just a little bit. So even though it has already separated from the second stage, it still has a little bit of an upward journey before it reaches its apex or apogee, and at which point in time it will then begin to return to Earth for its landing on our drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You. As a reminder, today's payload is for SpaceX's satellite internet constellation, Starlink. We can now see from the telemetry at the bottom left-hand side of your screen that that first stage is now making its way back towards Earth. We are about 30 seconds away from entry burn on the first stage. Everything continues to look nominal with the first and second stage.
Stage 1, FTSO saved. Stage 1, at your burn startup.
As you can see there, stage 1 has ignited 3 engines to slow it down for atmospheric reentry. This burn should last about 20 seconds. We have reignited 2 of the radial engines, and the center engine, as you just saw there, that has concluded. Falcon 9 is using its onboard computers to guide itself autonomously back to or down to the drone ship, which is parked in the Pacific Ocean, a couple hundred miles off the coast of California. We're less than 1 minute away from landing burn of the first stage.
Stage 1, transonic.
As you just heard, stage 1 is traveling near the speed of sound.
Stage 2, FTSO saved. Stage 1, landing burn.
There you can see stage 1 has lit one engine, the center engine, to prepare for landing on our drone ship.
Stage
You
2,
can start to see in the background here.
Stage 1, landing light deploy. Stage 1, landing is confirmed.
All right, and as you can see there, Falcon 9 has landed. This marks SpaceX's 58th first stage landing on our drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You, and our 39th launch of this year.
Expected loss of signal, Cook and Vandenberg. MVAC shut down. Nominal orbit insertion.
And as you just heard there, we had a good second engine cutoff as well as a good orbit. At this point in time, stage 2 is now carrying 46 Starlink satellites into low Earth orbit. With that confirmation of SECO 1, we'll wrap up tonight's webcast. Be sure to check SpaceX social media for confirmation of Starlink deploy. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you again real soon.
And just like that, nice and quick, another Starlink mission is complete. You can see there on your screen the live tracking of where that second stage is, and continuing on towards its payload deployment with 46 more Starlink satellites heading up into orbit. We are expecting that payload deployment to occur at the 1 hour, 2 minute, 56 second mark. For it, a couple burns that have to be completed prior to that. The first of those now having been completed with SECO 1, and the second will occur at T plus 53 minutes, 53 seconds, for a grand total of 2 seconds to circularize its orbit before payload deployment. Now, we won't be ending up staying live for that whole time tonight, but we will keep this up for a little bit. If you guys have questions, you can send those in the chat. Take us at the launch pad, and Kieran and I will answer a couple of those as we get ready to wrap up here. But 46 more Starlink satellites on their way to orbit. I know before the stream, as we got started, saw someone ask, "When do you sleep?" I can sleep on the way to Mars. That is my kind of theory of it. We are in a very exciting time of space exploration and advancing low Earth orbit. Yeah, it's busy, and I think probably running on partially adrenaline down here in Florida. It's always amazing being at the Space Coast, but yeah, it's pretty exciting. What's keeping you going, Kieran?
Honestly, it's just the sheer excitement of everything. Like, it's crazy because it's like, well, it was yesterday. We were running on like 48 hours of no sleep, no nothing. We were just running on pure adrenaline just to see SLS, and it was just crazy. So, like, I imagine you'll be the same. I mean, you had the press site, and I was at Feel the Heat, which I was quite lucky to get. But yeah, like, as you said in the stream earlier on as well, it's like, it's all systems go for everything. So it's like you don't want to miss anything. So you're just like, why sleep? Sleep means missing things. So yeah.
Absolutely. Mark, or there was a question, sorry, before that. LT Grider, sorry, I'm saying that wrong. How hot is the metal at time of touchdown on that recovery craft? The metal of the engine is always chilled, so it's able to maintain it. The booster itself is a couple different materials. We don't have exact numbers on that. It is proprietary for SpaceX for their drone ships, but it doesn't sit there long enough really to heat a lot of it up. Obviously, there's going to be some heat distribution, but it kind of doesn't hover like we see with a New Shepard, where it comes down, hovers for a few seconds, moves to a spot, and then lands. It just comes down and lands in itself. So a really great question there. If you guys have questions, you can send a few of those in there. For those that may not be aware, we are, of course, counting down to the second launch attempt of Artemis 1, as Kieran was saying, on Saturday. SpaceX officially announcing they are targeting now Saturday, September 3rd, with a 2-hour launch window, opening at 14:17 Eastern Time, or 18:17 UTC. That's 2:17 p.m. Eastern. Right now, weather is looking only 40% favorable for launch, so we are keeping an eye on that weather. Unfortunately, as we get later into this launch window, the later in the day we get, and ultimately the worse the weather generally is as we go. Today, though, was pretty nice. We're getting the lightning now, so we'll hold our hopes to see what happens on Saturday for it goes.
PH piano cover. We will have all those indicators for the Atmos flight. Will we have? Sorry, my apologies. Yeah, we'll be getting the information from directly from the source of NASA. So we'll have the numbers coming up for the speed, altitude, and so on and so forth.
They haven't told us a lot of what we're going to see.
I was going to say there won't be a lot, but that tends to be the baseline of things that they'll give you. They'll give you the trajectory and where it's going and how fast it's going there. Because it tends to be the thing that people that I know I find it quite interesting to see how fast the speed's increasing. Like, I know everyone knows a rocket's fast, but when you see that speed increasing, you're thinking, wow, just imagine being on that.
Oh, one day we're going.
Yeah, one day
we're going somewhere. But yeah, I think NASA hasn't really provided a lot of info. We've reached out a few times. The fact that we have an overlay for fueling of the core stage, I think, is shocking, because even SpaceX doesn't do that. So it's interesting to see NASA, quote unquote, the older kind of generation company, really stepping up forward with 4K coverage and with overlays and things like that. So really excited to see that there. I saw a question will it be going over Washington so I can see it? So today's flight was heading southwest out of California into a polar orbit. So you may see it over Washington as a trail of Starlinks after deployment if it passes directly over you. But it is getting more and more limited in seeing those. The best time to see a Starlink trail is generally within the first about 36 hours. And you want to do it right around sunrise or sunset, when the sun's going to be able to hit those Starlinks at a certain angle as things continue on there. Light Grinder, thanks. Yeah, I was wondering about the craft's heat. as re-entry vehicle, not at the pad of landing, allow for the exit atmosphere, and then the return. Yeah, so the heat of the booster, or the whole booster itself, it has a special material per se. It uses its own engines to actually fight the re-entry heating, to slow it down and kind of weirdly cool it down in a way. Because it helps slow it down through the atmosphere, it doesn't actually get nearly as hot as it would if it just came streaking through without any of that entry burn that occurs. So it is something, but they haven't provided a whole ton of that info, but I'll write that one down and see if we can get you a bit more there. If you haven't yet, make sure you join us over on our Discord. We're always trying to answer questions on there if you ever have them, so you can send them in and we will answer them live. Don, thanks so much. Have a good night. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Dub is going around 18,000 miles per hour as it needs to get to stay in orbit. That is correct. Absolutely crazy fast when you think of these things. And when you think about it, ground to good orbit was 8 minutes.
Oh, yeah. It's super quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Super, super quick there.
Well, yeah. That was well pointed out. We've got a mod sat with us as well to help us point out through questions in chat so we don't miss many. Obviously, as we said at the start of the stream, I just saw my first Falcon 9 launch, well, my first launch, which happened to be a Falcon 9, and it was crazy how fast I could see it going up. Like, again, I knew how fast they go, but seeing it in person, it was like, I can't believe how fast it actually accelerated. It was... That's still lost for words.
We'll just add another one of those later this week, hopefully.
Yeah.
I'll get another Falcon for you. Maybe we'll throw an SLS in the middle, Falcon sandwich, and we'll go from there. And then we might just have to make you stay here longer so we see a few more. So we'll wait to see what happens.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
We're not sending you home yet.
That's fine.
Mind
with me.
you, you're getting some rockets in the UK now.
Yes, we are. Up in north of Scotland, we're getting a launch pad built. The company Orbex, they'll be doing a lot of. It's quite economic. Not economic. Sorry, green. Like all the companies that focus on being like eco-friendly and stuff like that. It's very eco-friendly. Like their central command is actually built basically into the ground. It's covered in grass and it's only small. FF highlight. I am from the UK, and Zach here is from the Canada. It's from the Canada.
The Canada, I like that.
From the Canada. It's not just any Canada. It's from the Canada. Yeah, I'm from the UK. So yeah.
But yeah, you guys are picking up. You got up there. You got Cornwall coming online with Virgin Orbit. That's in actually a few weeks, I think.
It is. It's just in a couple of weeks' time.
Definitely starting to finally have another continent come online with some launches.
I know. I'm so excited.
Just to add more to bring to you guys live here. But with that, I think we're maybe going to wrap it up for a little bit here tonight. The Starlink 3-4 successfully launched out of Vandenberg Space Force Base. It is on its way to orbit. We've still got another about 40 minutes until actual payload deployment, so make sure you follow us over on our Twitter. We will try to tweet out there once we have payload separation confirmation from SpaceX or any updates they provide for us. Make sure you join us over on our Discord as well. Now, because we're on location and most of our TLP crew is actually here in Florida, we haven't been on the Discord as much this past week, but don't worry. Once we get back in the main studio and everything from there... Sorry, when you have the whole TLP crew in a room, you never know what's going to happen behind the monitor. We will be back in the Discord a lot more, and we've got some big, exciting announcements coming your way very soon. But of course, on September 3rd, Saturday, we hope that you will join us live for our full launch countdown and launch coverage of Artemis 1, the first ever historic launch of the Space Launch System with NASA. But since we're in our secondary portable studio, we're not going to have a nice, pretty ending. It's just going to wrap it up for tonight. But make sure you've engaged that like button, subscribe, so you never miss another live launch coverage, space briefing, space news update, or exclusive one-on-one interview. Here at the Launchpad, it's our mission to inform and inspire the explorers of tomorrow, because we believe that space is better together. And Kieran, last thoughts for the night?
Well, as usual, Falcon 9 being an amazing launch to witness. Thanks for being here. It's been great to be here, actually, to be fair. I mean, I've dropped in once quite a while ago, but I certainly look forward to being here for more. So I hope everyone has enjoyed the stream and hope to catch you in the next one.
And with that, this is Zach and Kieran signing off from Space Coast, Florida. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.